I'm going to start this video off by saying Zawoki gave me this idea to do the video reaction because I saw that he posted this. I saw the title, and I'm like, that I got to see. I got to see him talk about content creators because that is going to fascinate me. So go give him a lot of support. Go give the original content creator a lot of support. It's been a while since I've delved into the Chris Watts, Nicole Kessinger content. Not really something I've talked about a lot because I feel like nothing's really getting done about it. I could be wrong about that. Maybe they're about to open the case again. I don't know, and see if we can get more people arrested and who potentially might be involved. I just don't know. But this title fascinated me. I want to hear what he has to say about content creators. So if you like this type of content and want to see more true crime content continue, and maybe even more Chris Watts content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Zawoki, I'm not trying to copy you, man. I genuinely want to know what he has to say about content creators because this is interesting to me. So let me go ahead and dive into it, and I'll tell you guys what I think.
Chris, what is a statement you would like me to release for you on your behalf?
Well, I'd just like to say that I've heard all this information that's been put out about me, about my family, about my friends, and I'd like to say that this armchair detective podcast or whatever it may be, not in support of my will, of my wishes, of my feelings, of my mindset, my directives. It's all been done without me blessing it, and I want to refer people to talk to Kim, to listen to Kim.
Okay.
She knows more about me, more about this case than anybody else.
Okay, look, it does not take a rocket scientist, Chris Watts. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that you were 100% guilty of whatever happened to your family. It doesn't. They could just tell by your simple reactions when the police or people were questioning you how nervous and unsettled you were. And people have the right to speak up about that. Look, I don't think your family gave you permission to take their lives, but you did. What are you talking about, man? You're a fucking full-blown psychopath. Crazy that he's like, I didn't give these people consent to talk about me. I didn't give them my blessing to say what they're saying. Nobody cares what your feelings are. Nobody. I won't lose any sleep knowing that a murderer did not like what I had to say. Straight up heads up. Crazy that he just said that. Like, nobody's taken my feelings into consideration. It's like, get out of here.
And I just want people to trust her and don't go to these podcasts that have this mindset to spread propaganda, to spread hurt, to spread accusations. So I'm not in support of it.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a great message, and I think that will help people know who to trust and what to believe so that stuff can be stopped.
Courtney knows your dad is Jeremy.
Yes.
And Jeremy knows you're talking with me right
Yes.
now.
Okay, so I'm assuming that in the opening was definitely a call between Chris Watts and a person named Kim. I don't know who Kim is, but again, everything that Chris Watts says, it goes right by my head. I don't care. When it regards his feelings, when it regards to trying to spread positive messages, anything that comes out of your mouth that is remotely positive, F you.
Okay. So we're talking about Chris and Shanann Watts and some responsibilities you might have had for babysitting their children.
Go subscribe to Patty Productions, by the way. And the reason why, again, I am jumping on this is because I saw Zawoki's video. I didn't watch it. I saw the title of it, and I found that to be extremely interesting. For some reason, I always have to hear what they're going to say about podcasters and content creators when it comes to people talking about them. I want to know their opinions, and that's pretty much exactly what I thought. But the proof is in the pudding. He 100% had something to do with it, and he also in depth described how he did it. There is no getting around it anymore. Why should anybody have sympathy for you? That's the main question you should be asking yourself. Why should anybody have sympathy for you when you've already admitted to it and you've already admitted how big of a piece of shit you are? So, yeah, it makes no sense. Been a while since I've talked about this whole subject.
It's a nightmare because I'm rubbish at this. Welcome back, everyone. If I don't look very happy, then it's because I've just done it again, 18 minutes, and I didn't press record. Anyway, welcome back. First video is...
Sometimes I have to look over. Some people are always asking me, why you keep looking over? I have a recording. My OBS is right there. And sometimes I want to keep an eye on it because I don't know if it's going to stop recording or not. Sometimes, if you press the space bar, it sometimes will press stop record or start recording. It's very bizarre, and I have to check every once in a while.
The Babysitter, that looked after the kids when Chris went out with Nicole. He's supposed to be going to a sports match, but he took Nicole out. The young girl who babysat, her father used to work with Chris and Shanann. She was over there at 4:30 on the 11th of August. Only Chris was going to a Rockies game. That's what he was telling everybody. Shanann was already away in Arizona for work. She did say when she was interviewed that Shanann was the only one checking in for all the kids. Chris never bothered. Once he was out, he was out. On the 9th of August, Shanann cancels the baby reveal. She texts a friend saying that she grabbed Chris's hand on the ultrasound and he never grabbed it back. Big red flag there. Bit heartless. So I think, quite rightly, by then she starts to get suspicious. Also on the 9th, she texts her friend saying that her and Chris have had a good talk and it was the best talk yet. She does text, I don't know how we fell out of compatibility, meaning her and Chris. Probably because you want to save your marriage and he wants to kill you. So on the 11th then, Chris hires the babysitter.
Blunt but true, right? Yeah.
To go and watch, apparently, the Colorado Rockies. We all know that's not true. It was the date with Nicole. The statement from prison was from a lady called Kim Kaufman. Who's Kim, I hear you ask? Well, it seems a lot of nefarious things were happening after Chris was jailed, and a lot of people were trying to make a quick buck out of the families, getting involved directly with the families. I don't mean just a couple of people reporting on it, I mean getting directly involved with. A YouTube channel called Crime Catalyst set up a Facebook group. Apparently, they were the first ones to set up a Facebook group on the Chris Watts case, and this Kim Kaufman apparently befriended the group. Now I don't know if she befriended the group, infiltrated the group, more like, but she basically enters this Facebook group and tries to take over, and later on she's removed. Around that time, Cindy's getting attacked, people against her. She posted,
And this Kim is the one who was talking to Chris in the beginning of your video, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay, interesting.
in the group, I'm looking for the best lawyer to represent my son, which obviously isn't going to go down well with people.
No.
So I think she was getting attacked over it. Kim Kaufman becomes an unofficial spokesperson, I think. She sort of stuck up for her, so she befriends her, but later on she becomes dodgy because apparently she hacked Cindy's Facebook. There was a lot of dodginess going on. Certain people have had ulterior motives going into these sort of groups or getting involved with the family. So the statement is from Chris to Kim. Apparently Chris doesn't agree with podcasts. They don't represent him in a good light, and it's all propaganda according to Chris. Also, this Kim apparently was always promising big things and she never delivered. A lot of people are new to this sort of stuff, new to the case, new to the fact, new to all these dodgy things that were going on, so I'm gonna have a look at them. Massive shout out to Kez5150, new member, welcome aboard. If you want to come along, hit the join button. All my lovely friends in the United States, all my friends in Australia, Denmark, Sweden, love you all. Let's get into the video.
Courtney knows your dad is Jeremy,
Yes.
and Jeremy knows you're talking with me right
Yes.
now. Okay. So we're talking about Chris and Shanann Watts and some responsibilities you might have.
1 sec, I gotta go blow my nose. Oh man.
Had for babysitting their children.
Yes.
So how long have you known Chris and Shanann?
My dad used to work with them, and I think I got to meet them when I was around 6 or 7 years old.
So Jeremy is your dad?
Yes.
And who did he work with?
He worked with both of them. They both worked at Longmont Ford. Shanann was a salesperson, and Chris was a mechanic.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
I would say probably in 2013 or 14-ish is when they all worked there at the same
What
time.
did your dad do there?
He was an internet manager.
Does your dad still work at
No, he works at Siltahar Motors now.
Siltahar? Okay, down in Boulder.
Yeah.
And do you know what Chris and Shanann do now?
Yes. Shanann advertises this thing called Thrive, which is a patch
Yeah, it's kind of bothering me how he was saying Shanann.
you wear that gives you
Shanann,
like energy boosts, I guess. And then Chris does the oil company where they drill in the ground to find oil. I think it's called Anadarko.
Anadarko,
Yeah.
so he works there.
Yes.
And Shanann, Shanann, sorry, mainly work from home?
Yes.
Or does she travel, or?
She travels for business when they have like conventions and stuff, and she posts on Facebook, and I think she advertises, and that's what her job is, to advertise for Thrive.
Okay, so she's an advertiser, and he works in the oil industry. And so you think you've known them since 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
So you babysit for them not on a regular basis or on a regular basis?
Not on a regular basis.
An occasional
So
thing.
how many times have you babysat for them?
Just once.
Once. And when was
Oh
that?
yeah,
Saturday
very rarely then.
night.
Okay, so today is the 14th. Monday is the 13th. Sunday is the 12th.
So the 11th.
So the 11th.
Yes.
Okay, so you babysat for them on Saturday. What time did you start babysitting?
4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m.?
Yes.
And who asked you to babysit?
Chris had contacted my dad.
On what day?
Friday.
Do you know what time?
No, I do not know what time.
And he asked,
He asked if I could babysit their kids while he went to the Rockies game and Shanann was out of town.
do you know who he was going to the Rockies game with?
He said something about how it was with his work or something from his work. Because my dad was going to the Broncos game that night. And my dad had invited him to go to the Broncos game because he had an extra ticket. And he said he couldn't because this is something from work.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, wasn't Nicole Kessinger also somebody who worked at the same plant as Chris Watts, if I'm not mistaken? I could be wrong about that, and I might be wrong about that. Again, it's been a while since I've sat down and actually watched any Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger content. I got to check now because that's really going to actually bother me. Where did Nicole Kessinger work? Kessinger was hired as a contract employee at Anadarko Petroleum in Platteville, Colorado, where she worked safely. She met Watts in the office. That's what I thought. I had a feeling that's how they met. Yeah, it was that they worked at the same place.
So friends or something from work?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you see? So what time?
He wasn't
how did
wrong.
you get to his house? Did you babysit there or did he come here?
I went there, my mom dropped me off.
And that was on Saturday.
Yes.
Your mom, what's your mom's name?
Jennifer.
Lindstrom?
Yes.
Did you know your mom's birthday?
July 1st, 1981.
My birthday's July 2nd, 1996.
Mom's birthday. So Saturday, your mom drops you off. What time?
4:30.
Was anybody at the house?
Chris and his two daughters,
Okay. What are his daughters' names?
Celeste and Bella.
How old's Celeste?
She's 3 and Bella is 4.
Anybody else at the house besides those three?
No.
So tell me what happens. Your mom drops you off. Does your mom come in with you?
No.
You just get out?
Yeah.
Go in by yourself?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you have a cell phone?
I do.
What's your
I
number?
guess they trusted them enough to where they could just drop their daughter off and drive away and then just expect everything to be okay. Man, that must have been scary. Imagine being her parents and after realizing what Chris did and that you dropped your daughter off to babysit his kids. I mean, that could have ended horribly for them too. Seriously. The guy was already a fucking raging psychopath.
720.
You just never know.
And your address is.
Gotcha.
So you go into the house. Chris, Celeste, and Bella are there. All right. And does Chris tell you what he wants you to do, or
Yeah.
tell me what Chris tells you? And you said, sorry, let me back up real quick. Shanann was not home; she was somewhere else.
Yes.
Where was she?
Arizona for her work.
And Chris told you that?
Yes, and I had seen posts on Facebook because I'm friends with Shanann on
Okay, so
Facebook.
you knew,
Yeah.
but Chris told you the same.
Yes.
Okay, didn't seem like he lied there, huh?
So just tell me your conversation with Chris when you show up.
I walked in and then he asked what kind of pizza I liked because he was gonna order
Yep,
me
I
and the
remember.
girls pizza for dinner. So he got on the phone and ordered them pizza. He gave them their medicine before he left because he didn't want me to have to worry about that. And they were already in their pajamas and he said I just have to play with them and then at 7 o'clock lay them down to go to bed. And he
So he
just...
told you to put them down at 7 p.m.?
Yes, and he just showed me where their cameras were for their rooms, and showed me how to.
What kind of cameras?
They were like installed on the wall, and there was like this little mini thing I could watch to make sure they were okay in their beds.
So like a little television you were watching, and you could see the kids?
Yeah, it was like a handheld, and it switched back from each room.
Okay, was that part of their video surveillance, or was it separate?
I think it was separate. And then,
do you know if that recorded, or was it just live?
I think it was just live. And then he gave me his cell phone number just in case I needed anything.
Do you remember what that is?
No, it was on the counter and I didn't need it. And then Shanann was texting me and she was like, "Are the girls okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're fine."
So Shanann knew you were there too?
Yes, she called
Did
me.
Chris ever text you?
No.
So Shanann knew you were there because Chris told her,
Yeah.
or did you tell her?
Wow, so Chris actually never even bothered to check on the kids or anything. So he must have been doing something pretty distracting if he couldn't even like message the babysitter to ask, "Hey, are the kids okay? Are they doing fine?" Because I figured if I was a dad, that's what I'd be doing. Like every like couple hours, just say, "Hey, everything going okay over there?" Like that seems like a natural thing a parent would do. At least she was asking. At least somebody was.
I think Chris told her.
So how did Chris leave the house? Well, so did he run you through these instructions? Do you recall what the girls were wearing?
Yes, they were wearing 2 nightgowns, and actually a police officer came over today and they had pictures and they told me to pick out which ones they were wearing.
So they went through that with you.
Yeah.
And can you just describe them, what they were wearing, if you remember?
They were 2 nightgowns, and I think one was blue, and they just had like little kid like stars and hearts and sparkles and stuff on them.
Okay.
And I think the other one was like a peach color.
Okay. Remember what was on that one?
What's that?
Do you remember what was on that one?
They were kind of similar. It's still like the stars and the hearts, and
Okay.
I have a
Remember what-
picture of what Cece was wearing.
Did you take a picture of her that night?
Chris took the picture, I'm pretty sure.
On your phone?
No, he posted it on Facebook, or Shanann posted it because he was sending them pictures of the girls when she was checking in on them.
Okay, tell me how somebody got a picture of the girls that night.
I'm pretty sure it's taken on Chris's phone, and then I'm guessing he sent it to her, and then she had posted it on Facebook, so that's how I saw it.
Prior to him leaving for the game?
I can check when she posted it,
Okay.
because I noticed that was the same exact thing she was wearing when I came over to watch them.
So probably took it before.
Yeah, she posted it on Saturday at 10:30 at night, and that's the night I babysat.
Can I see that picture?
Yes. That's the youngest one, Celeste, but she goes by Cece too.
Can I take a picture?
Go ahead. Is it bad lighting?
It's fine. Thank you. So she posted that Saturday, and that's the clothing that Celeste was wearing
Yes.
the night that you babysat for them. So do you think that's prior? What time did you babysit? You got there at 4:30?
Yeah.
Or did you leave?
Around 10:30.
Were the kids sleeping?
Yes. I'm guessing that was before I came because it's light.
Just making some notes, just a second. So you did not send that picture to Shanann?
Mm-mm.
Chris must have.
Yes.
Do you remember what Chris was wearing when he left?
A white t-shirt and darkish, almost black jeans.
Do you remember if the t-shirt had anything on it?
No, I think it was plain.
Do you remember his shoes?
No.
A jacket, anything else?
Mm-mm.
Does he wear glasses?
Yeah, he usually doesn't, but when he left, I'm pretty sure he was wearing his glasses.
Like reading glasses or sunglasses?
Reading glasses.
He left your phone number to reach him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that, again, you said it was just written down on
Yeah.
the counter? It was written on a
My apologies. Sometimes you just want to listen to hear what they have to say, and sometimes you don't talk. And I'm like, I need to start pausing and talking a little bit more because this is not really a commentary. Interesting. This is all fascinating. I feel like I may have seen this stuff before, or I might have heard of this stuff. I feel like I did listen to an interview with the babysitter before, so I'm not really too sure if this is anything new with what I was talking about. But I really wanted to see what he was saying about like this. He doesn't like podcasters or content creators who are talking about him right now. That's what I was mainly trying to talk about because I feel like I knew about this stuff.
note.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who he left with?
No.
Did you see the vehicle or the car that he left in?
No, he told me to go distract the kids while he left so they didn't get upset that he was leaving.
Clever.
Did you hear a car?
No.
Did he take his own truck, or do you think he left with somebody?
I'm not sure because his work truck was parked in front of the house, and I never looked in the garage or anything to see if any
Did
vehicles.
the work truck ever leave?
No.
So something tells me he potentially got into the vehicle with somebody and drove off, and that's probably why he told her to go watch the kids so he can quickly make a getaway. And then she wouldn't have to question anything because she wouldn't have seen anything.
What's his work truck look like?
Brown, right?
It's big and brown, and it has like a bunch of mechanical stuff on the back of it. It looks like for the oil fields.
Does it have any markings on it?
No.
Does it say the name of the business?
No, it's blank. Because I remember the girls kept pointing it out because they're like, that's my daddy's truck.
So the girls are 3 and 4, but they talk with you a lot?
Yes, they're very
They're
talkative.
very talkative?
Yes.
Okay. So did they tell you anything that was happening? Was there anything that was concerning that you heard?
Bella she sat by me and she was really concerned. Her little sister fell asleep before her, so she sat on the couch with me for a while, and she actually told me something. She's like, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah. She was like, my little sister has, like, she told me if she eats coconut, she'll never be able to see her again. So I'm guessing that the littlest one has a severe allergy, and that's what they told her, that if she eats that, she'll never be able to see her again. And she was really upset by that.
Bella was?
Yeah.
And so if CC ate coconut, she would potentially
Yeah,
die.
I know she has a tree nut allergy, but I never heard coconut. So I wonder if they just, I don't know if she got
So
coconut.
CC has a tree nut allergy?
Yeah, like a severe one.
Okay. So you watch the children. He leaves you get there at 4:30? What time do you think he leaves?
Probably 4:45 after we've like gone through everything, and he orders the pizza for us. And
Where was the pizza
He was
from?
out of there. Yeah, he pretty much wasted no fucking time. He was just like, I'm going to order pizza, I'm going to get the hell out of here, and have a good night.
Papa John's, I think.
Okay. And he leaves about 4:45. You didn't see who he left with.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you watch the kids. Any phone calls? Do you see anything out of place at the house? Is anything weird?
It seemed normal. They all were acting normal. The kids were having fun. And the house seemed fine.
Okay. And you put the girls down at 7.
Yeah.
And then what time does Chris come back?
Around 10:30.
Anybody else in the house while you're there? Just you and the 2 girls?
Yeah, my mom was waiting outside to pick me up
What
because
time?
he told me 10, so my mom came at 10, but when he came home, he said he had gotten stuck in some traffic, which was understandable.
And your mom was there to pick you up?
Yeah.
That or he was too distracted by something to really pay attention to the time. Potentially. I'm not saying that as a fact. You know, maybe there was traffic, but
She was waiting outside the house in her car.
She's waiting in her car?
Yeah.
He gets home at 10:30, and he was at the Rockies game, right?
Yes.
That's where he said he was going?
Yes.
Did he mention anything that happened, or
He just gave me the money and I left.
he didn't tell you? He said he got stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Was he wearing the same clothing?
Yes.
And you didn't ever see who he came back with?
No, my mom saw him come home, so
Your mom
I
did?
bet if you ask her.
Shout out Jay for Justice. Crime Talk for the second one.
I want to go back to this. This is what really fascinated me about this video, because this is something I actually did not know about.
Chris, what is a statement you would like me to release for you on your behalf?
Well, I'd just like to say that I've heard all this information that's been put out about me, about my family, about my friends, and I'd just like to say that this armchair detective podcast or whatever it may be, not in support of my will, of my wishes, of my feelings, of my mindset, my directives. It's all been done without me blessing it, and I want to refer people to talk to Kim, to listen to Kim, because she knows more about me, more about this
No, he's only saying that because she's so nice with him.
case than anybody else. And I just want people to trust her and don't go to these podcasts that have.
And plus, nobody's gonna listen to you. Nobody in their right mind is going to listen to you. Like your recommendations for who you think is telling the best stories and who is giving you the best cover.
this mindset to spread propaganda, to spread hurt, to spread accusations.
None of it's accusations, man. You admitted it to yourself. None of it's accusations.
I'm not in support of it.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a great message. And I think that will help people know who to trust and what to believe so that that stuff can be.
It's such a ridiculous thing to say, too. Again, I don't know you, Kim. I don't know anything about you. I don't know why you would say that. It will help people to know who to trust. Why would anybody trust what Chris Watts recommends? Nobody would trust it. So not really the best person to give you a shout out, in all honesty. So having really said that, nothing else was really new to me. I knew about the babysitter and mostly what she did. I even remember the color of his truck. Yeah, I think I summed it up pretty good. Nobody cares what you think, Chris. Nobody. Nobody's going to take any of your recommendations. Nobody's going to get... Nobody. So yeah, I only wanted to check this video because I saw Zawoki posted a video that was saying that Chris Watts does not like certain podcasters or content creators, and I'm like, I got to hear this because that's going to be interesting to hear some sort of psychopath try to tell people that they're spreading misinformation, which is normally what they do, when in reality the guy admitted doing what he did. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So I actually had to hear what he had to say, and that's about as crazy as I thought it was going to be. So give Zawoki a lot of support because he was the one who kind of inspired me to check this video out. And also go give the original content creator a lot of support. Go over there, hit the like button on his video, show it a lot of love because it deserves a lot of love. Guys, let me know what you think down below. What do you think of situations like this where these so-called people who've committed such heinous and ungodly crimes are now telling people what they should and shouldn't be talking about and how they're spreading misinformation when in reality we already know the truth. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you all in the next one. Do take care.
Reactions are nothing new. However, there is one man on a mission who wants to prove the world a fakery. He used to follow all these paranormal shows. Now he's had enough. He is done.